You are listening to Mining Stock Education.
So the next 3 holes are the most exciting holes that we will have drilled because we keep vectoring to more and more confidence into the targets and where the big parts of the system could be.
All right, I'm Bill Powers with Mining Stock Education here at PDAC with one of my sponsors, Coppernico Metals. Ivan Bebek, you're the chair, the CEO, and the founder. You've done phase 1 drilling at the Sombrero project in Peru. You're going to be releasing some results upcoming, but you put out a press release this morning. Could you walk us through the high level? What do we need to know about this?
Sure. This is a great update for the market. First off, we found 2 more skarn targets, which are pretty significant, that add to this very target-rich project. We've been drilling inside a polygon, which was designed before we started to get data back, and we've certainly seen that we're limited where we can go and where we should be going with our current drilling. Specifically on our Chumpi target, we were drilling within the intrusion. We should have been drilling across the contact. However, we're now drilling our 18th hole. We're going to stop at 20 holes. This was our first phase. The amount of information we've collected has been incredibly important and insightful to where we are in the system. It's starting to point us towards the really robust targets where we'd want to be drilling. Success has not come quick enough because of the covered nature of the system. However, the project looks even better now to us technically than it did when we first stepped foot on it. There's an area called Furasso that has 8 historical economic, or we believe to be economically...
Channel samples, right?
No, and drill holes. 8 drill holes as well as a big channel sample. This area of Furasso is what really drove the confidence in this project, that really gave us the energy to wait 9 years to bring this online. The biggest takeaway so far is this is a very big system, and it's very mineralized. And the challenge in a big system is you could be 500 meters away from the joy or what you're looking for. The team has done a phenomenal job of vectoring, which brings me to the current 3 holes we're drilling, 18, 19, and 20. This is based off of 17 holes of learning on the project. Some of those assays are back. Some will be coming here in the next few weeks. So the next 3 holes are the most exciting holes that we will have drilled, because we keep vectoring to more and more confidence into the targets and where the big parts of the system could be. We do have an area called Furasso. If you look at our recent deck, you can see where we're going to drill and just be expanding this discovery that's already been made by a predecessor to us. We are now looking to advance permits into these areas. We said we would do that in the fall. This has been ongoing, so we hope to have those permits in the next 3 to 6 months, where we can actually start to move our drills into the most prospective.
And that's part of a 200 drill permit application?
Yeah, we're going to triple our size of our polygon. We're going to expand it to more than 200 drill holes can be drilled in the area. The frustrating part is that we can't drill some very, very obvious targets just outside our polygon. We're trying to shorten that timeline as much as we can, working with the mine minister of Peru to work through that. But this is an exciting project because the potential hasn't gone away. It's gotten better, and we're finding more targets that add to the target-rich program as it is. We're also making advancements in our communities to access some of our northern targets, such as NEOC. And so we're working through that, and we plan to have updates here in the coming weeks, if not month or 2, towards all of that, to the permitting, the additional communities. And yeah, we're very, very, very interested in pending drill results that will come out in March. But specifically, the next 3 holes they have the potential to be transformational in terms of a discovery unlocking for the system. The markets have been quite challenging for everybody. When we raised our last capital, copper was $5 a pound last May. It's dropped down to $3.90 a pound. Now it's on its way back. The copper equity market is really soft for juniors. These are capital intensive projects, whether it's us or other copper explorers, but we're in a really strong financial position. So we end the year with a few $1 million, and we can turn the drills back on anytime we want. But we're going to be very disciplined and patient with our approach here. We need a lot of data to come in, pending results, the next 3 holes, before we keep drilling. We certainly don't want to drill ahead of the data. The project is...
And you've only had 1 drill running too. You haven't gone to 3.
Yeah, we've only had 1 drill running, and for us to go to 2 or 3 drills or 4, it would be based off of 2 things. It would be based off of success at the drill bit. It would also be based off of the actual market conditions to perform. This project took 9 years to bring online, and it's taking time to get into discovery, but the pace and the vectoring that we're doing is perfectly aligned with the pace of the copper market, the price of copper and the outlook on copper. So the copper equity market is slowly coming to life, and our discovery, or the discovery we think we're going to make, is timing perfectly with that. This is by no means a overnight story. There's no quick fix here, although we could drill that transformational hole here in the next 3 holes that we're drilling. It's going to take time because of the scale and the amount of targets that we have to go drill. This is one of the most unique opportunities as far as a skarn system that could deliver incredible grades, incredible mineralization that I'm aware of in the sector. But skarns are difficult. They take time, and we are humbled by the size. And that just means we have to work more with the drill and our geotechnical team to go and get towards those robust areas.
And Ivan, the 2 targets that you have besides Ferrasso, did you do surface work to determine those targets? How did you conclude those would be good targets?
The new targets we did surface work. There's samples pending from some of the work we've done. We've mapped areas that look, in one case, Antapampa, it looks very, very similar towards Ferrasso. And it has some of that Mara formation, which also is part of the mineralization at Ferrasso, where there's existing drill holes with mineralization. So a lot of surface work's been done. There's a little bit more to be done to bring them into drill ready, but we hope to be able to drill them here late summer going into Q4. Our goal as a company by the 4th quarter this year is to have access to all of these targets, to have access to the best parts of our system, to be funded, which we currently are, in a position to go drill those and capture the second half of the year as copper prices are anticipated to improve significantly from where they are now. And we believe the junior equity market's going to improve considerably in that same time frame. We are looking beyond Sombrero because this is a buyer's market. And we're here at PDAC. There's a lot of copper companies struggling with no money in their treasuries. There's a lot of really cheap acquisitions that we can make. If I had it my way and we were able to acquire 1 or 2 more assets and have the most compelling advanced copper exploration story globally, that's certainly our goal. That's what we're going to work towards doing. There's no immediate targets that we would acquire, but we're looking at a lot of other assets, and we're buyers. We want to be as aggressive as we can before the copper market really comes to life. If you come to PDAC, or if you've been here and if you walk through here, there's too many juniors in the sector, and I think a big consolidation is necessary. There's too many mouths to feed, and these are very expensive projects, and not everybody has access to capital. There's a very limited pool of capital. The demand for performance comes out of drill holes that we would say would be some of the best drill holes you would expect in a project, or you're not getting that return on your share price. So it's a very expensive time to be drilling and not getting reaction, even if you hit good results. We're seeing that in certain companies. So that tells us to let your results catch up, pause your drilling for a few months, advance all your permits, which we're doing, look at other opportunities that you could bring in and consolidate part of the sector and create that compelling copper exploration company. This is barely the beginning of what we think this project will yield and opportunities for us and our shareholders. We've been buyers as insiders as of lately because we believe and we love what we're seeing technically. For me, the deeper we dive into it, the more we learn with each hole, the more confidence we have that the system is real and it could be really, really big.
Is there anything that could speed up that pace, Ivan, that you laid out? Would it be, hitting joy in holes 18, 19, 20? Obviously, that could change things. Anything else that could change your timeline?
Yeah, so holes 18, 19, 20 are taking transformational swims based on 17 holes of learning. So yeah, that could do it. If the copper market came back to life, $5 copper, it's a different environment for every copper explorer, and your equity can actually perform with the speculation of what you're finding and what you might find, your fundamentals as they're improving. So I think we're subject to the market conditions for it. Copper's going in the right direction. I've heard from several large investors and some mutual funds that the moment we get Ferrasso permitted, there'll be a lot of speculation coming back into the name. Because of the obvious nature of Ferrasso, we're drilling beneath and beside significant intercepts that already exist on this project. It's the very obvious discovery expansion story. And that's encouraging to have that, but we're now seeing potential like Ferrasso in different areas that are just outside our polygon as well. So again, I can't predict timeline. I'm not going to give people specifics, but I will say that the general direction is very positive. We could hit a transformational hole here between the last few holes here and the 20 holes we drilled. The copper market's going in the right direction. speaking to some investors here, and I agree with them, the worst of this market is behind us in terms of what will endure. We might see an all market crash this year with tech and everything else that's been talked about by many people. We're really, really insulated with a really good treasury, and that gives us a lot of longevity, a lot more capital to keep drilling, and that's something we're going to protect. If you're not getting paid for your drill results in this market or for successes you're having, and you need to drill something way above and beyond market expectations, you're better off being patient and waiting for your opportunity. And so we are very aggressive, but we're also very disciplined with our spending, and we're putting the company in a position to succeed incredibly well, if not immediately on the next 3 holes that we're going to drill in March, towards the second half of the year as we anticipate the sector to improve.
And with your treasury, I believe you said previously, like into Q2 of next year, that's you had enough money assuming you would continue to drill, but now you're going to put a little pause on that. So like how much runway do you have with your treasury?
So we can tweak that as much as we want. We could last 7-8 months into next year and without the drilling, maybe longer, but we're going to just manage ourselves accordingly. You know, if the market picks up, we get our permits to go, and if things are great, we're going to go ahead. If we drilled some really good holes in November, and good holes would be 70, 80 meters, 100 meters, a 0.7 or a 0.8, those would be spectacular holes on our comparison, Las Bambas. If we started to see those holes now, or we saw them in November, I don't think we would have had the share price appreciation that everyone's hoping for. But the fundamental importance of those holes, and some of our targets are 2 kilometers long, would be outstanding to start seeing that kind of intercept. So, you know, the timing of discovery is so critical. I'm a very strategic person. I've had great successes in the past, and they've generally timed perfectly well with little windows in the gold sector, gold companies I was involved in, or with the sector where it's performing. The way to perform outside of the market against macro is to drill a huge hole. And this project has a lot of potential to drill those kind of big holes, and that's what the next few holes will kind of give us. As far as learning on the project, as far as how far we've come, Tim Kingsley, incredible job as our VP of Exploration, extremely thorough. The team's been hitting on all cylinders, and they've advanced the learning with the drilling incredibly well to a certain point where it's starting to get really exciting from discovery potential. Some of it's outside the permitted area, but we'll get there in the next few months. Keenan Jennings, he's our head of our technical committees on our board, formerly was the VP of Exploration for BHP, the largest miner in the world. He's been buying shares alongside me, you know, and I always buy shares with my shareholders because I believe if I have the liquidity, and I'll keep adding to my position because I certainly do believe and I know all of what's going on. But seeing Keenan show up as a buyer was extremely encouraging. It's rare to see geologists buying shares, and when they buy it, it's more technically driven than me, which is a combination of technical understanding, opportunity, and the cheap price of our shares right now. This market has small patience for things like this to evolve because of the current state of play. There's liquidity challenges, there's capital challenges across the sector. However, we're starting to see that start to change. As I said before, I think the worst is over with this market. I think we're about to turn the corner, go into an incredible bull market in commodities. I think copper's, it's slower moving, but it's one of the best commodity bull runs we'll see based on the demand, supply, the new demand curves that occur for copper. And so it's a very exciting time. I'm the most excited about the next 3 holes we drill because of what we learned to pick these holes, and because they could be transformational. They are very big swings if we get it right. And that would set the tone for the rest of the year for us and our shareholders.
Ivan, well, thank you for this update. I know you got to get to tending the core shack here, and I was sitting here before you got here, and people were coming up to me asking questions. I don't know what to tell them, so I'm going to let you get back to work.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank you, Ivan.
Thank you.